Greetings everyone, this is Robert Henry Reaper, and this is the very first episode of the weekly Reaper review. I plan to do a review every single Tuesday, now that I'm getting rid of Overwatch, and most likely I'm going to be doing movie reviews or reviews about shows. I may do reviews about other things such as restaurants or items or whatever later on, but right now I'm going to stick to primarily shows. Today I put a poll online asking which show I should do, and the number one answer that I got out of the options that I put up was Willow. Now, Willow is a movie that I enjoyed a lot as a kid. I haven't seen it a lot, or at all, since I was a kid. And so I don't really remember all of the story anymore. It's been many, many years. I do remember that I greatly enjoyed the movie. I remember that I wanted to buy the movie when I had the opportunity. So here's hoping that all that fond remembrance is, still going to be there after I watch this movie again. So I'm going to go and I'm going to take a bunch of notes, and I'm going to, treat it as if I'm seeing it for the first time. But, obviously, previous experience is going to kick in, nostalgia and all that stuff. But I'll try to keep it as accurate as I can in how I currently would feel about this movie, just as a whole. So I'll see you guys after the film. See you soon. Alright guys, so I just got done watching Willow. My first impressions, real quick, without any of my notes. I really enjoyed it. I still love this movie. It's still really good, really funny, quality stuff throughout. I mean, I definitely noticed some things that I could nitpick on, which were, not too important, but they bothered me because I'm that kind of guy, I guess. Minor little things about CGI and stuff like that. But overall, it's a solid story, solid acting, solid adventure, a little cliche at times, but, good stuff. Well, it's been a full week since I watched Willow, so let's see how well the story holds in my mind. Obviously, there'll be spoilers at this point, so please stop watching if you'd like to actually watch Willow. Which you should if you haven't. It's a really good movie. Okay, so the story starts with evil queen looking for a prophesized child to basically kill because this child is supposed to be her downfall. The classic Riddick story. I know this predates Riddick. But anyway, so she eventually finds the child. The mother, knowing that they had found the baby, wants to, get the kid out of there because she's sure that they're going to kill the kid. Which, that was pretty much the plan. The evil queen was going to take the child and completely obliterate it from existence, which is something you find out during the movie, so that it will never be a threat. I guess death isn't permanent enough. So, nursemaid gets the kid out of there, mother gets killed, nursemaid is running for a while, like at least several days, and eventually these dogs that were tracking her and the kid caught up to her at this river, and she's like, crap. She gets the kid, puts it on a little raft thing that she quickly puts together. A little too well placed, I guess, because most of it was already built before she got to it. It was like some floating plants of some sort that's off to the side. I don't know. But So she quickly puts the kid on there, sends it down the river, gets killed by the dogs. Her, not the baby. And then Willow, the main character, finds the child. Well, actually, Willow's kids find the child. But eventually call him over. And he's like, no, send that baby farther down the river. That's someone else's problem. You know? And while he was trying to deal with this, his creditor, I'm gonna go with, shows up, and he's like, "Hey man, what you doing?" Oh, I know what it is. It's the dude who sells all the seeds in for farms and whatnot. And so he's like, what you doing? Why do I see you farming when I'm the one that sells seeds? Where'd you get these seeds? And he's like, me and my family, we went into the woods and we picked these things up ourselves. And so he didn't much care for that response, but wasn't much he could do about it. But he's like, you don't get your money to me on time because I guess you owed him money. Then basically I'm going to take your farm. Or something along those lines. But anyway, so that's a sort of side point that, a side plot that wasn't really that prevalent. Just sort of shows that dude's a dick. And that's pretty much that guy's character throughout the movie. While Willow was having this discussion, his wife goes looking for the kids, finds them with the baby. So she's all like, cuddling and taking care of the kid, and he gets back there and he's like, no, I said no, baby. We are not keeping this kid. And the wife's basically ignoring him and walking the kid inside, and she adopted it. So he basically is against her until he holds her, and there's a moment. But it's not really prevalent to the story. What is prevalent is he's trying to become a sorcerer's apprentice. Like, he really wants to. And there's this festival the very next day where a bunch of people are getting together, and some of them are up for possibly being chosen as the apprentice. And so, like, you go to the festival, and it's your classic festival: food, music, dancing, probably a few inappropriate things that are happening somewhere. But for the most part, it's a festival. And Willow's there, and he's doing basically the equivalent of modern day magician tricks. Like making the pig disappear and making, little simple tricks and stuff like that. Which are not necessarily magic, And so he goes and he applies, he's up there with the other two potential apprentices, and none of them get picked because they all answered wrong. It was basically which finger controls the power of the cosmos, or something. Basically, it was a magic-related question, like which finger seems like is the appropriate answer to his question about magic, and which one's used. And Willow got it wrong, just like the other two, but like he hesitated, and later on they talk to him. The wizard talks to him about it, and he's like, "Which finger did you want to pick?" So shut this real quick because we got noise coming downstairs. Yeah, so which finger did you want to pick? And he's like, he would have picked the right one. He just hesitated and changed his mind, which was, never the right. Always go with your first instinct. So, anyways, all this side plot's going on. The village is attacked by another one of those wolves. The villagers, warriors kill it. They realize that it was looking for a baby because of where it was attacking. And so Willow comes forth with the baby reluctantly, and the wizard or sorcerer or whatever is like, yeah, we're gonna have to put together an expedition, and like who should go, and long story short, Willow gets picked. So is one of the best warriors. So is the asshole. You know, a squadron basically was put together. Oh, I should definitely specify. I don't remember what their race was called, but they were pretty much, you know, like not quite halflings. Not they were basically, you know, little people. Like they were played by little people, or whatever the appropriate term is. I honestly don't know. If you do know, please comment below. And so the so basically a squadron of them go to try to take this human child back to the human lands. And the first human that they come upon is Mad Morgan, who is captured he's in a cage. He's basically left to rot. He's obviously a criminal. But like the team that was there, they're like, nah, man, this is the first human that we found. That was the mission, to give the child to the first human that we found. There he is. You can, you know, like Will's like, nah, man. And they're like, you can wait and see if any more show up, but, you know, we're leaving. We're going back home. And so they all left, except for one other dude, a friend of his. Eventually, this army goes through, and Willow tries to pawn off the kid. Nobody's taking him. They're all marching onto a battle against the evil queen. Mad Morgan knew one of the dude. The dude leaves them behind anyways. Etc., etc., etc. Eventually the army leaves, and Willow pretty much has no choice but to try to leave the child with Mad Morgan because nobody else is taking this kid. So he does that. He starts heading home. Shortly after, a hawk is flying by carrying the baby with a brownie on top. Like they stole the baby. And so Willow goes and he goes to try to get the baby back. He runs into a, you know, brownie society area. I wouldn't really call it a city or anything. They just sort of live in trees, but, you know, whatever. And some fairy that they, you know, worship and whatnot comes down and basically gives him the quest. Is like, here's all the exposition that you needed. Here's a magic wand to give to a sorcerer that you should probably go and find, because that sorcerer is going to help you. And yeah, that's it. She gave him a couple of brownies to help out. Pretty much one of the ones that stole the baby and his friend. Mostly incompetent, the two of them. But they do occasionally do some things that are very helpful. They eventually run into Mad Morgan again. They team up with him after an epic bar fight and wagon fight. They're basically stuck together, so they all go in the same direction to the lake, and they find the sorceress, but she's been turned into an animal by the evil queen, because the evil queen is, you know, magic and all that crap. And it's like, okay, well, I can't turn you back. I don't have the knowledge, and you can't use the wand. They end up getting captured by the evil army. He tries to turn her back. He ends up turning her into a raven. They escape through mishap and, you know, comedy, pretty much. Like, it's a funny scene, but, you know, there's still stuff going on, and it's not just a funny scene. There's plenty of action, there's story and all that shit. There's even a part where Mad Morgan gets hit by
a love potion and falls in love with the evil queen's daughter, which plays in later. Um, So they escape, they run into the remnants of that army, few as they may have been. They escape again when they're later found. They kidnap the woman's daughter, she eventually gets away, they keep going. They get to this castle where they're heading to, where there's supposed to be this powerful army, and they're supposed to be, you know, this king and queen that'll love the child and help raise her and all this stuff. And when they get there, the place is destroyed. Like, it's long abandoned, it's cursed, there are trolls, like, it's, you know, like, citizens are frozen solid by some sort of magic. It's all bad. And then the enemy army shows up. They start fighting them off as best as they can, you know, barricading the area, setting up traps, etc., etc. Willow accidentally turns one of the trolls into a giant monster, which starts attacking everybody. But at least that's something attacking the army. The army focuses on the monster to kill it. Well, try to kill it. Mad Morgan actually kills it. And then pretty much as soon as the monster is gone, the friend, who pretty much had gathered back up as much of an army as he can, comes marching up from behind. Pretty much they wipe out the enemy army. Yay for them. And then they go to attack the queen herself. They get there and she's like, nah, fuck this. Because, like, during the fight at the castle, the queen's daughter ended up switching sides because she also loves Mad Morgan. Not because of the potion, she just fell for the dude. Which, you know, you find love in weird places. And, yeah, so, the queen is pissed. She's like, you know, you betrayed me, daughter. You guys are all fools for trying to you know, come at me. This is my castle. This is my kingdom. You know, and she's like, you know, I turn you all into pigs. And she, like, flat out cast a spell and turned every one of those motherfuckers into pigs. Except for Willow and the sorcerer, because Willow was putting up a protective spell. Good for him. And then once the evil queen, I don't remember her name, she once her spell was done and whatnot, you know, he dropped his protection, saw that everybody got turned into pigs, and so he tries using the wand again, ends up eventually turning the woman, you know, the sorcerer back into a woman. Then they go and transform everybody else back into humans, and then they set up a trap. Enemy, you know, they lure the enemy out of the castle, ambush, invasion, etc. This whole time, after she cast out that spell to turn everybody into pigs, she's up there doing that ritual to try to obliterate the baby. And that ritual ran all night, all day, and pretty much into the next night. And it's like, goddamn, that is a long ritual. You guys are very lucky that wasn't a short ritual, or else that baby would have died. It would have been gone. But no, they took forever. They were able to stop her through magic attacks and whatnot, and then Willow tricks her, making her think they sent the baby to another dimension for its protection. She ends up getting obliterated by her own damn spell by accident. Mad Morgan hooks up with the daughter, the princess, and they adopt the child, and, you know, Willow gets a magic book, gets sent home, and, you know, happily ever after. So yeah, a week later, it's still pretty solid in the mind. It's definitely a fresh, you know, like, it's a story that sticks with you. It's characters that stick with you. It's adventures that stick with you, funny jokes, etc. Like, it's all pretty much good. I did remember that the CGI with the brownies, because they're like that big, like whenever they would interact with something real size, the CGI was horrible. Like you could see that little outline when you know they're standing in front of a screen. You know, it's that could use touched up. Like someone should go back and just touch up that part, and then the movie would be, you know, at least 1 point higher. Let me check my notes on what I thought of the show and see if there was anything more. My first note here was that I didn't realize that this was a Lucasfilm. I was honestly surprised by that. The notes here show that they are called Nilwins, the little halfling, hobbit, gnome, dwarf, whatever. I did note here that like the landscape, the travel scenes in this movie are amazing. Like, it's a very beautiful movie. Like, that is a solid. I came upon a note here that it was definitely just wrong. So there's a scene where when he's talking to the sorceress on the island, and like instead of, you know, just doing a cut or whatever to, you know, get them back back to the main island or the mainland, for this cut, it's like a diagonal cut. It swipes across, and while it happens, they play this sort of magical like music. And it's the only time that they do this in the entire movie, and it's so out of place. It's so wrong. It really should never have been used, and I don't know why they used it, and I especially don't know why they used it only once. I also want to note that for some reason, the guards, when they captured Willow and everyone, they left the wand with him. Like, why would you leave a magic wand with someone? Like, with anyone? Why don't you take that? You know? So, it was never explained why they never searched them or whatever. I forgot to mention that during the fight at the castle, when the queen's daughter switched sides and all that stuff, that pretty much the main general, like, other than the daughter, got his hands on the baby and was able to escape with the child before the other army showed up, so that's how the evil queen was able to get the kid. Alright, that seems like that's pretty much everything. Like, I only missed a few things in remembering the plot. Definitely a movie that sticks with you. I mean, I watched Willow when I was a little kid, and I still remembered scenes from it all the way up to this age, you know. That's like 25 years of, you know, sticking with you. And so it's definitely a movie that's worth a watch on more than one occasion. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye. Alright, so I went and I checked the votes on which show I should watch next, and overwhelmingly, by a total of 2 votes versus 0, I need more people voting for me, really, people. It was Supernatural that won on top. So, that is what we're going to do this week, for the next video. And just so that I get a bearing on what you guys want for the following week, the options are going to be more Supernatural, because I've thought about it for a while, and because series can be very long, I'm going to do roughly an hour and a half worth of show. Hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the lengths of the episodes. And then I'm going to do a review on those. So if you guys want to see additional Supernatural after just the first few episodes, definitely let me know, and I'll watch more. The other options are Highlander, Lord of War, Clerks, Reign of Fire, and Your Highness. In regards to both of these, obviously I haven't seen too much Supernatural, so most of that's going to be new to me. For Highlander, I've seen the original Highlander movie so many times. I greatly enjoy it, but, you know, you want to see me watch it again, I won't complain. Lord of War used to be one of my favorite movies. I actually haven't seen it in probably 10 plus years. It's been on my to-watch list. Clerks is classic. I've actually only seen the original Clerks once. I've seen Clerks 2 a couple of times. And I don't even want to, try to guess how many of the other Jay and Silent Bob movies I've seen. Reign of Fire is a movie that I haven't seen in a long time, and I only saw once when it first came out. I probably don't remember that much about it, to be honest. I know that it's got Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey, and yeah, that's about it. Dragons. And then Your Highness is just funny and hilarious, and I haven't seen that in a while, but be definitely worth another watch. So those are the options for next week, and let me know below which of those 6 things you want me to do. You want more Supernatural? Let me know. Otherwise, I'm moving on to something else. But seriously, whatever you like. And thank you guys for your time. You guys have a great day.